Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Today is March 19th, and thank you for coming by my site, Tori Magoo 44. This weekend was L Ron Hubbard's birthday celebration down at the shrine, and some of us went down and Picket it. I'm going to put the Picket videos down here. Thank you, Smurf, for taking the videos. And thank you to OSA for showing that you are definitely a mafia-like organization. You proved it way, way better than we could have ever. And it goes to show, when we arrived, they had these tents outside of the shrine, which is new for me. I had never seen that. I looked inside before they started blocking how we could see, and there were these giant, tall pictures of L Ron Hubbard, one after another, of different stages of his life. And tables around. So I thought this is some kind of a reg cycle thing. They're going to have people come in after the event and reg something about Ron, which I figured it probably was. Dan Sherman has been writing L Ron Hubbard's biography for the last, forever. Even when I was in, he would always start reading L Ron Hubbard's stories, and we were like, ugh, can you stop it? Because it was just so bogus after a while. And I know there's people that follow Hubbard and they think he's great, and I don't care. That's fine if you want to, as long as you don't support the abuse and you do expose the abuses. Because Hubbard did do very definite abusive things along with Miscavige. But Hubbard wrote the policies. He wrote the policy on medicine that I suffered from, where I was ordered to get off of the medicine I take for epilepsy. I watched a ton of other people either get harmed or die from medical abuse with the Church of Scientology or commit suicide. He wrote Disconnection. He did. Now, granted, in all fairness to the people that like Hubbard, he did say the last result should be disconnection. And I know this personally because I had to work with my mother because, of course, I have epilepsy, so I must be connected to a suppressive person, some evil person. And the only person I knew who didn't like Scientology was my mom. But she didn't like it because her daughter was ordered off of medication for epilepsy, and she was trying to say, no, Dianetics will not fix you, which it wouldn't have. And another gentleman did get off of his medication, stay off of it, and he's dead. So I fought them for 30 years on it, and when I got out, I found out Hubbard was popping pills all during that time. So that's from people who were with him. Do you know what I mean? So that didn't go over too well with me. Okay? He did write Disconnection. What I was saying is, in all fairness, his thing was the last thing should be disconnection. You should try Good Roads and Fair Weather, a couple other things. At the worst, disconnect. Whereas Miscavige now is like disconnect, disconnect, disconnect. And he's doing disconnections without even declaring someone suppressive, which is totally out-tech. He is changing the tech, which is totally out-tech for Scientology. He's a creepy guy, beating up people out in Hemet. Those are awful things. But Hubbard did have, his C organization was basically young kids, so he was into that. He wrote a thing, which we fought, saying a child should be out of school by 15 and working. Now, I understand he was like they should be producing, but, that's like 90 years ago. What about college, right? And we had to really fight on that and to get our kids to be able to go to college. And he wrote Fair Game, whether he canceled it or not. At the bottom of the cancellation, it says, this does not apply to suppressive people. I, in case you didn't get to see it, am a declared suppressive person, very proud of it. There you go. Church of Scientology, flag service organization, which is in Clearwater, Florida, suppressive person, Tori Bazazian. And it's got all this stuff. And it's actually posted on xenu.net, xenu.net, if you want to read it. It's just a bunch of bogus stuff. It's, I did this and I did that. And of course, they never talked to me about it. For anybody that's still in and thinking, they never gave me any ethics on it. Nothing. Not a what do they call it? Committee of evidence where I would get to tell my side. Nothing. And the IJC that's supposed to be around, my only terminal, is let's see if we can get it here. Her only terminal is the International Justice Chief via the Continental Justice Chief. Won't answer his phone, won't call me, won't talk to me. Not that I really give a shit at this point. honestly, since the day I left, I was never going to go back. But it's still, he is my only terminal, and he should answer the communication. So that's another gigantic outpoint in this group, right? So anyway, Hubbard had his things with that I could see where it was stopping free speech via disconnection. You can't talk to those people because they're declaring people suppressive, popping pills, and ordering me off of my medication. And he personally did that. Wrote me a letter in 1972. So DM wasn't even around, or if he was a young kid at that time. And I'm not for DM either. He's a total ass. But I'm just saying, Hubbard had his own stuff, where it was like, get off your medicine, handle epilepsy, we'll see you off the line. And it's like, right. And you can say maybe somebody else wrote the letter, but I'm just saying, he was the guy running the show for a while, and it wasn't exactly all great. Maybe he has some stuff that people like, that's their business. I'm not against either way. I'm against the abuses. I'm against my friend whose grandmother will not talk to his children because the parents are in the Church of Scientology. And the parents have said, well, if you talk to my friend, their grandson, then, they can't talk to him. And so that grandparent who's never had anything to do with the Church of Scientology is now disconnected from his kids, which are their grandchildren or great-grandchildren. And you just see how and I talk to a lot of families where this happens, where it's like this spill-down effect, where someone who has never even been in the Church of Scientology is now disconnected from them because the person in Scientology is saying, well, if you talk to them, then we can't talk to them. And it's like, please, if you see this and you are one of those people that has never even been in the Church of Scientology, do not start following their abusive policies that are awful, on your own children or grandchildren. And for you people that support it, not okay. So what happened at this event? I saw these big giant pictures. I said, I bet you anything, it's L Ron Hubbard's life story. It's finally come out. And sure enough, it has in 16 volumes. I'll post a little link about it. You can read about it and see. But, 16 volumes about L Ron Hubbard. So was he a con man or not? I'm sure in the 16 volumes, he's going to look like the greatest guy on earth. Go to Gerry Armstrong's site and read what he has to say about him. Gerry Armstrong was actually trying to help L Ron Hubbard writing his original biography, right? And Hubbard said, well, I've got a bunch of facts downstairs. Go look through my boxes and see those. And Gerry started looking through them. And this is what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. But from what I understand, he was looking through the boxes and they didn't match up. He said he was blinded in the Navy, and he wasn't. So just different things that he says he was the first Eagle Scout or whatever he says, he wasn't, right? So Gerry, being a good man, was trying to help Hubbard and said, look, this is not going to go down well because, like in the Navy, they can tell exactly what happened. And the Boy Scouts, they can tell also. These are very specific things and a ton of other things. So what do? Get rid of him. Declare Gerry Armstrong suppressive. And he made copies, got out of there, and they've been after him ever since. And you know what? Gerry's got to be smiling at this point because you know what? He started the very road that all of us are on now, and it's so great. And I cannot thank everybody enough who has helped expose these abuses, from the original critics, Gerry Armstrong, Jesse Prince, people that left years ago. Some of them I can't even say their names because they don't want them mentioned. But there's people that left years ago and kind of started this road, right? And then there's the ex-Scientologists. I came later. There's, all the critics, tons of them who've helped for years building websites like Andreas over in Norway, put up Xenu.net, and there's a ton of other ones that the critics, who were never really in Scientology, but they were for free speech. And Scientology tried to cancel a news group in the 90s, and they went, not on our watch. And they held that firm, and that was really cool. And then all the way through to 2008, when Anonymous arrived, rock on, and they have helped expose the abuses of the Church of Scientology. Now, I know the guys in Scientology. I heard you on Saturday going, oh, well, it's just Tori and Doug and a few other people. Yeah, you can say that all you want. Think it all you want. But go look in your orgs. They're empty. And they're not empty just because of me and a few other people. They're empty because there are people around the world speaking out, making videos exposing your abuses. So if I can tell you what they're going to do, they're going to get this 16-step thing to government officials, to opinion leaders, to celebrities, to libraries, to anybody that they think is important. So if you have any connections to those people, make sure that they get some links to the other side of L Ron Hubbard, right? Because there definitely is, and they need to know both sides instead of just the total BS. All right? So I'm going to put the links to the chat that we have about this new release, and I'm also going to put the links to our Picket because it's kind of fun, and they definitely demonstrate they are. As a girl who's just leaving now called me and said they are worse than the mafia, and they are. So thank you for showing everybody who you really are, because that is who you really are. And I know there's some nice people in Scientology, but the point is you're still in there supporting this group of people that are hurting a lot of people, and that's not okay. Not today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. Okay, so that's it. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Peace out.